You want to start or restart your business, however, you're kind of afraid you're going to make some mistakes. You don't want to be a foolish entrepreneur. So in this video, I'm sharing 5 signs that may be signals that you're leading down the path of being a foolish entrepreneur. In other words, doing things that will lead to failure most every single time. My name is Rosh, and I teach the combination code to creative entrepreneurs just like you. And there are some things that I see quite often that entrepreneurs are doing that honestly will lead them to failure just about every time. And it's amazing what a large percent of people who are trying to get into some sort of business to make money, especially in times like these when it's a good idea to start looking for new ways to make money. But if you start making these mistakes, you're headed to failure. So I want you to consider them, and also remember, some of these are the mistakes that I've made along the way, especially the last one, number 5. I have definitely done that maybe a few times. And the 4th thing is something I see a lot of established businesses doing. But before we get into those, let me talk about these first things that I think are important. I don't want you to be a foolish entrepreneur. And a lot of people who get into a business, they have an idea, but they think that marketing is like an afterthought. It's not one of the first things they start thinking about in terms of how are they going to get to their customers, find their customers, research their customers, understand what their customers really want. They think they just have a great idea and everybody's just going to love it. And there's going to be no marketing. It's all word of mouth. Now, that doesn't mean word of mouth doesn't work. Of course it does. Word of mouth is a great form of marketing, but it works even better if you have a plan behind it. The next thing I see foolish entrepreneurs do is chase ideas, chase other ideas. Try something for a minute and then go on to the next thing and think that, wow, if it's going to work, it's going to work immediately and there won't be a lot of hard work behind it. Of course there's going to be a lot of hard work, and if you go from one thing to another, chasing another idea because somebody else is having success, you're going to find yourself in a world of hurt. You have to come up with your idea, and maybe you can find inspiration from other people and then use the combination code, what we teach here on this channel. Combine something new, a style, another technology, your own process to these new ideas, these new innovations that you see out there that you want to be a part of. But you need to bring something new to the table, and that takes time. It takes planning. Many of these one-hit wonders took years to develop. Even just a year, 6 months seems like a long time for a lot of people, and that really does take a lot of your energy. You need to focus in, and the foolish entrepreneur thinks, hey, it's either going to work over a month's time or it's not going to work at all, and they go on to the next thing. And that leads to failure over and over. The 3rd thing is borrowing money without regards to how you're going to pay it back. That's a big, foolish entrepreneur mistake. Because even if it's an investor who says, hey, we have the money to give you, just give us a plan. A lot of times, entrepreneurs will make a plan, but not consider how they're going to give that money back or how the investor will earn their money back. That needs to be a part of the plan too. And during this time where a lot of free money or low-cost money seems to be flying around, I think a lot of entrepreneurs are going to find themselves in a world of hurt because they haven't thought about how they're going to pay it back. They're just trying to get through the next few months. And that's okay if you have customers on the other side. So you need to think about, if you're going to accept money, is there a way to pay it back? Is there a realistic opportunity for you? And if there's not, well, then you're just going to be an entrepreneur whose business failed. The next thing foolish entrepreneurs do is ignore the customer. As I mentioned before, a lot of times we think we have a great idea, and we very well may. You may have the best idea in the world, but does the customer really care about it? You need to get out there and start letting people who may be interested in your product, in your service, comment on it and share their ideas. So it doesn't mean that they are always right. But if you start to hear a theme, some sort of an idea that keeps popping up over and over again, you might want to incorporate that. And another way to ignore the customer has to do with our marketing model, where we talk about awareness, traffic conversion, and retention. We earned our customers. We spend sometimes a lot of time and a lot of money and energy earning those customers, and then we forget them. We don't do anything to keep the retention, to keep them in the loop, communicate with them. Email is a great way to do it. Social media is an excellent way to develop a follow-up response to your current clients. Yes, you want to continuously, look for new clients and keep getting out there and networking and developing new business. But you're going to have to work a lot harder doing that business development if you ignore the customers you already have or had. These people are your best opportunity for new customers because they're more likely, especially if they're happy customers, to refer you. So don't ignore your current customers. Don't ignore people who are actually your target audience who want to buy the product. Don't think you're right all the time. Have consideration for what other people who are actually going to use the product or do use the product think. This next thing is something I see a lot of established businesses doing, and that is trying to hold on to the old ways. Honestly, everything has shifted. So much has changed in the business world. And it's very true for creative people, creative entrepreneurs. There have been ways in which creative entrepreneurs have done business in the past, and they think that's the way it's going to be done in the future. The one thing that is always consistent is change, and there's actually something else that is just as consistent as change, and that's complaining about the change. People are always complaining about it, so those two things are always going to be consistent. Change and complaints about change, but it's going to change. Your business model will be different, or should be different, a year from now, 5 years from now. You need to continuously evolve your business and stay ahead of the curve. Be a thought leader. Start using, again, the combination code to try new ways to present your product, use your product. You'd be amazed at ways in which customers use products and services that you don't even realize they're doing. So sometimes the innovation comes in back to the customer again, the people who are using the product and service. Start asking them what features they would like and how are they using the product, and maybe you can come up with the next idea that takes you into your next phase of your business growth. This last thing is something I have done many times, and that is thinking I can do it all myself. It really is a balance because sometimes an entrepreneur, a foolish entrepreneur, and I have been that many times, thinking I can do everything, I don't need to hire out. A really good entrepreneur who is a leader knows how to delegate and inspire the people to get the kind of work they want done at the level they want to get it done for their customers. They can delegate what needs to be done easily, seamlessly, but there's another side to that. You can't always delegate everything out. Sometimes you have to do it because you are the best at it. So focus in on the things you are the best at. Continue to do those things and let the people who do have equal or better talent than you do the other things. And that will make your business much more efficient and probably more profitable in the long run because you're investing in the right thing. I mentioned borrowing money a few moments ago. If you're interested in learning more about the things you should consider when borrowing money, check out the next video.